Did you know you can complete your card collection in Arena for free if you know how to do it? It's called Going Infinite, and we are going to explain exactly what it is and how you can do it. Welcome back to Game School Dad with me, Martin. Today we're talking about going infinite in Magic Arena. That is getting all of the cards for the set without having to actually spend any money. It's not something that's easy to do. Most people probably won't be able to do it, but if you know how to do it, at least you could give it a go. So to be able to go infinite, you need to be able to enter events and pay for them using gems. We can look at constructed events and limited events. So let's go to a standard event to start with. Now it's important that you can pay for these in gems because gold is a limited resource. There's only so much gold you can get in a day, which is about 1,000 or just over 1,000 gold every day, and you can't really get it any other way. So there's only so much gold you can get in a day, a month, a year. But gems we can win as rewards for events. So if we can pay in gems and win more gems back than we've paid, or at least the same number that we've paid to enter the event, we can keep entering that event and we can get packs as rewards for that. And if we can do really well and win loads of games in those events, we can get more gems back and extra packs, which means we're going to keep rolling and we can pay for our next event. But the trick is being able to earn enough of them, or knowing which events are the best ones to do to earn as many gems as possible. So to start with, constructed events, whether that's a standard event or alchemy, historic or explorer, they all have the same structure. You can pay 2,500 gold to enter if you don't have the gems, but if you do have the gems, 375 is all you need to enter the standard event. You get to keep playing until you reach 3 losses, so you could lose 3 games in a row and you'll end up with 25 gems as a reward, which is not very good. But we're not going to lose 3 games in a row because that's terrible. Although, to be honest, it can happen sometimes. But we could also win 7 games in a row. I've had a 7 win streak before, and you don't even need to win 7 games in a row because you could win 7 games out of 9. You could lose 2 games in the middle, and you could still get 500 gems, 3 packs, and play-in points if the play-in points are any value to you. If not, you still get the 500 gems and 3 packs, which is pretty good. So to be able to go infinite with constructed events, we need to get 375 gems at least, or on average, in order to pay for our next event. So if we get 4 wins, we get 300 gems. If we get 5 wins, we get 400 gems. So we need to get around 4.75 wins on average to be able to earn enough gems to pay for our next event, or pretty much 5 wins. That works out to be a win rate of about 62%. So if you have any standard or explorer, historic, alchemy decks that seem to get around a 62% win rate, and you're pretty confident they're going to do very well, then it might be worth trying out one of these constructed events to see if you can win more gems back than you've paid to enter. And even if you don't get as many gems back as you would pay to enter, if you're entering with gold, it also happens to be a very nice way of exchanging your gold for gems. So if you could get 4.75 wins on average from playing constructed events, then you'll also get at least 1.75 or maybe 2 packs per event. So although this isn't the best way to go infinite, this is one way you could possibly do it. And if you're doing a standard event, you'll get standard packs, the most recent packs, as your reward. If you're on the alchemy events, you will get the standard or most recent alchemy packs as rewards. Or if you're doing historic or explorer events, you will get packs that are random non-standard sets. So if you're not looking for any more standard cards, you can also use this to get any packs to fill out collections from previous sets as well. So that's the constructed events. They're not too bad. It is possible to go infinite using the standard events, but it's not the best way. Let's have a look at the limited events and see what they will do for us. The next best way to go infinite and get unlimited cards is to do quick drafts. Now, if you aren't very good at quick drafts, if you find you have a pretty low win rate, maybe you only win 1 or 2 games per quick draft, then this probably isn't the method for you because you're going to increase your card collection, but not because although you will increase your card collection, and it is a good way to do that, it won't enable you to go infinite unless you're able to win more quick draft games per event. So for quick draft, the cost is twice as much as the standard event or constructed events. We are paying 750 gems or 5,000 gold to enter. We have the same structure. We can play until we lose 3 games, and we could possibly win none of those 3 games, or we could win 7 games before we lose 3. If we are able to win 7 games, we get 950 gems, which is a nice 200 more than our entry fee. Plus we get 2 packs and all the cards we drafted as well go to our collection. And if we want to be able to go infinite from doing a quick draft, we need to earn at least 750 gems from the event. So if we have a look at 4 wins, we get 450, 5 wins, 650, 6 wins, 850. So we need to get between 5 wins and 6 wins. So 5.5 wins per quick draft will get us 750 gems on average and enable us to pay for our next quick draft event. To get 5.5 wins from a quick draft event on average is a win rate of about 65%, which is pretty high. Most people are not going to be able to get 65%, but if you can get 65% or higher, then this will just snowball and you will be able to get all the cards in the collection relatively easily, because you get to keep all the cards that you've drafted, and then you can get just 1 pack, or it could possibly be upgraded to a bonus pack, which is a slight chance of getting an extra reward pack as well, and enough gems to pay for your next draft. Quick draft is great for people that haven't drafted much before because there's no timer when you're quick drafting, so you can take all the time you want to read the cards and make your pick of what you want to add to your deck. But it isn't the best one for the rewards that we get. If you're actually pretty good at drafting and if your win rate is good enough, then you might want to have a look at the Premier Draft instead. Because for the Premier Draft, we're paying more to enter. It's double what the quick draft was. 1,500 gems to enter or 10,000 gold. But if we have the gems, then I would go with that. Same win structure. Until we lose 3 games, we could win 0 games. We still get some rewards for that, which would be the gems, a pack, and the cards that we've drafted. Or if we get 7 wins before 3 losses, 2,200 gems and 6 packs we get. So not only do you get the cards you drafted and 6 extra packs, but you're getting 700 gems extra compared to the entry cost. So we're kind of paying for another 1.5 drafts if we get to 7 wins. It's not easy, but it can be done. And if we want to go infinite with a Premier Draft, if we get 4 wins, we get 1,400 gems and 3 packs. 5 wins is 1,600 gems and 4 packs. So we need to get between 4 and 5 wins in order to get our 1,500 gems on average to pay for our next Premier Draft. So for every event that we enter, if we can get between 4 and 5 wins, and that's a win rate of about 60% rather than 65% for the quick draft. So it's much easier in terms of win rate to be able to go infinite with a Premier Draft, but also if you get 4 wins, you get 3 packs, 5 wins, you get 4 packs. So with 4.5 wins, we're getting 3.5 packs every time, plus the cards that we've drafted. And I've also heard people say that when you're drafting cards in a Premier Draft, because the rewards are so much better than quick drafting, people are more likely to leave the rare cards and let them go past and pick the commons or uncommons that work well for their deck. So if you want to pick up some extra rares, you're probably going to get some more rares in a Premier Draft than you will in a quick draft. But obviously you want your deck to be able to work really well, so you don't want to compromise too much on that. And if you can go infinite, it doesn't really matter if you want to pick up every rare, because you will get the rares from opening packs anyway. But I don't recommend this if you're starting out with drafting. You want to start with quick drafts because drafting is a completely different skill. And in a Premier Draft, you don't get infinite time to look at every card that you want to pick. You have a timer which can go from a minute to down to like 10 seconds. So you have to be able to pick really quickly. And if you're not used to the cards or not used to drafting, it's not going to be a fun experience to start with. But if you are relatively good at drafting, I think this can work out slightly better than the quick draft just for the rewards. There is one other event that you can do to go infinite, technically, and that's the sealed event, but it's not always active. Right now, there isn't a sealed event available, but for a sealed event, it takes 2,000 gems to enter. You can't spend gold, it has to be gems. And you will get to open 6 packs that each contain 15 cards, and you have to make the best deck you can out of just those cards. For the reward structure, you get 3 packs no matter how many games you win or lose. If you win no games and you just lose 3 in a row, you get 200 gems back and the 3 packs. And if you manage to win 7 games before you lose 3, then you get 2,200 gems and 3 packs. The rewards for 6 wins before 3 losses are 2,000 gems, which was the entry cost. So in order to be able to go infinite with sealed events, you need to get an average of 6 wins before you get 3 losses, which is a win rate of at least 67%. So it's much higher than the 60% that you need for the Premier Draft or the 65% you need for the Quick Draft. And there's no chance of paying gold to enter, so you need to have the gems. The benefit of the Premier Draft or Quick Draft, or the constructed events if you just want to do those, is that you can pay with gold instead of just gems. And the reason why that's good is because if you're not quite getting the wins that you need, if you only get 3 or 4 wins in a Premier Draft and you don't quite have enough gems to pay for your next event, you're still winning your gold from your daily quests, your daily wins. So you're still going to build up some gold over time, at least 1,000 every day. And so if you don't have enough to pay for your next Quick Draft or Premier Draft with gems, you can probably just enter with the gold and get some gems back, or boost you back up to having enough to pay for your next draft. So there you go. The best way to go infinite in Magic Arena is doing the Premier Draft, but it's not a very easy skill for the majority of players because lots of people play Arena just for the standard constructed games. So if you're not used to draft format, you need to get some practice first on Quick Draft. But if you do learn the skill of drafting and you do get a decent win rate in these games, and I highly recommend you at least give it a go, then you might be able to get all the cards you want in your collection for whichever set that is for. And one other thing that's important in order to be able to fully complete the collection after doing drafting, because there are diminishing returns on picking the rare cards from the draft. Because if you pick a rare or mythic card that you already have 4 copies of, you're going to get 20 or 40 gems instead of getting that card added to your collection. There might be some rares or mythics that just don't come up in the draft very often, and you don't get the opportunity to pick them. So you might never fully complete your rare and mythic set unless you follow this one last tip, and that is to keep all of the packs that you win from the draft events and wait until you've almost completed all of the rares and mythics, and then you open up those packs at the end. So for me, for Brothers War at the moment, I have 190 rare cards out of the 272 in the set. So there's 82 rare cards I don't have. So if I had 82 packs, which I don't at the moment, but if I had 82 packs, I could open all 82 of those packs. And because of the duplicate protection, I would always pick up one of these cards I haven't collected 4 copies of yet. And by opening all those packs, I would complete the set. Although there are some tiny exceptions where you would get rare wild cards sometimes instead of an actual rare card. But if you wanted to, you could just use that wild card to craft the one you're missing. Or it can be upgraded to mythic cards or mythic wild cards. So there's a little bit of complication and detail when you get to very, very nearly completing 100% of the set. But there are mythic packs you could buy if you really want to complete all the mythics from the set as well. If I look at the mythics that I don't have all 4 copies of, there's still quite a few cards here that I could get. That's 46 mythics that I'm currently missing if I want to 100% complete the set. So if you really wanted to, you could buy mythic packs in order to guarantee you're going to get those cards, but I wouldn't do that until you've opened all of the standard packs because some of them will upgrade to mythic anyway. And I don't think many decks are going to need 4 copies of In the Trenches, or possibly other mythic or rare cards. You probably don't need 4 copies of everything functionally to play the game and enjoy the game, unless you're just the kind of person who wants to complete 100% of everything for the sake of seeing it 100% completed. So I'm not saying it's easy, I'm not saying most people will be able to do it, but if you want to give it a go, there is a chance you can go infinite by playing in those events. The draft events better than the constructed, because the constructed ones only give you the reward packs and not any cards you've picked up, because you don't pick them up in the event. So the quick draft and premier draft are better. The sealed, a little bit too high in win rate. So I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying most people will be able to do this, but if you can do enough draft events to collect lots of cards and get the reward packs and win enough gems to pay for your next event, then you could possibly get 100% of all rares and mythics in a set. And you'll also end up with tons of wild cards you have no use for, unless you know a few tricks on ways you can smartly use the wild cards you have left over. But that's a topic for another day. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you do this? Are you one of those people that ends up with hundreds of wild cards and fully complete sets just by playing limited games? Or are you someone who would like to learn more about draft and improve your skills at it so you're more likely to be able to complete your collection even more? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you're watching up to this point and you're the kind of person that's going to question my previous videos on why buying packs can be better than quick drafts, I might as well clarify while I'm here It's definitely better if you're good at drafting to do the draft events because you can go infinite, and you can't go infinite by buying packs. But if you aren't very good at drafting or you have no interest in playing limited events, then buying packs and getting the golden pack rewards is about as good as someone can get if they just want to stick to constructed. So I'll be watching the comments section if anyone questions that, and I'll know they didn't watch this video right to the end. But thank you for staying here till the end. I really appreciate that, and I will see you in the next video.